Today's episode of Desertwood Days with Kathy Blaze is sponsored by Dork Publishing, expanding minds through fantasy since 2018. Learn more at the Dork Publishing website, www.dorcpublishing.com.
Welcome back to Desertwood Days, and thank you for joining us today on this 4th of July. We have a special treat for you today. We'd like to welcome Ms. Joyce the Voice Bailey, and she's has a special treat for us today.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the starlight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, that so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you. That was beautiful. And thank you for joining us here today at Desertwood Days. Joyce the Voice Bailey, yes.
Yeah, you know how I got that name?
How did you get that name?
Well, I used to go sing at karaoke, and I was singing there because my girlfriend came by and she says, "You're gonna go to karaoke tonight." I didn't know what karaoke meant, so she says, "Well, you can win $100." So I ended up going that night and winning the $100, and I went 2 other nights and won 2 more $100.
Okay.
The finals was a trip to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, which I won, and I went on that trip. And that's how I got the name. They started calling me Joyce the Voice because I had a powerful voice.
Yes.
And that's how Joyce the Voice came about.
Oh, my. How long ago was that?
Oh, my goodness. That was it was in the early 90s.
Okay.
So you're talking almost 30 years.
Yes. Joyce, are you a native of Arizona?
I wasn't born here,
No.
but I did. My parents moved to Arizona when I was 6 months old.
Oh.
So
you're native here.
You're right.
So how did you always love to sing? When did you start singing?
You know, when I was 7 or 8 years old, I was in the children's choir at church. And I remember the minister calling me his little mockingbird. And something inside of me told me that was my passion.
Oh.
I felt so good singing.
Yes.
I had some trials doing singing. I used to sing like real high soprano.
Okay.
And I wanted to sing. I remember hearing Marian Anderson sing, who was an African American opera singer.
Okay.
And I decided I wanted to sing like her.
Oh.
But it wasn't in the cards. So
Right.
things happened. But
yes, God blessed you with your own voice.
well, there's a story behind that too.
Okay, tell us that story.
That story was when I was 13, I developed valley fever.
Oh.
If you live in Arizona, you know what valley fever is.
Yes.
Anyway, I coughed for 2 years. I couldn't sing because every time I tried to sing, the coughs would come. So finally, I used to pray, God, if you give me my voice back, I will sing only for your glory. I made that commitment and I got my voice back, but it wasn't the same voice I had.
Oh.
It was a very raspy, low, lower than alto even. And that's the voice I had, and that's the voice I used. It was very powerful.
Did you like that voice?
I did. I did. I liked the power in it.
You were
I liked the raspiness in it.
And
too.
you were thankful to have your voice back.
I'd wanted to keep not cough anymore.
Right.
So I did.
know that feeling.
It was, and I did that for the rest of my life. Most of my singing has been for the glory of God.
Oh, okay. So do you predominantly sing for the glory of God? Do you do concerts? Or?
I do concerts. I don't sing. When I was about 18, I wanted to sing with a jazz band. And my minister told me, well, you can't do both. You got to make a choice. You either sing for the Lord or you sing for secular music. So I made that choice. And I do go to karaoke so that I can just sing some of those songs, but it's never for any livelihood or anything like that. It's just...
So, Joyce the Voice, that's pretty much known, is that just pretty much known in the secular world?
No, they use it at church too.
They call you Joyce the Voice at church also.
Yeah.
Tell me one of your most memorable moments singing and why.
Singing?
Yes.
I think one of the times that I remember most of all was at a baptismal for people in the Catholic Church. It was at Chase Field, and it was they had like maybe 2,000 people that were being introduced into the Catholic Church. And we were outside. They had a big film. You could see yourself. I was so amazed when there I am on this big...
one of those big monitors.
Yeah. But anyway, and the sound, was so amazing. And I loved that.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And also at Chase Field, I did the Star Spangled Banner, and it was for an ice skating thing that they were having an event. And with the first, I didn't know it was going to be that loud. So the first, I jumped back. It was so loud. But anyway, it was an amazing moment to
awesome.
Sing there.
So do you get called much to sing out in the community?
I used to.
You do.
But I'm at that age now that the number of calls have decreased.
Oh, okay.
I still get calls, but not like when I was younger.
Yes.
Yeah.
Y'all better call Joyce the Voice. So, what is it that you'd like to continue to be doing with your voice right now?
I want to sing, and I want to sing till that moment I can't. I love singing, and I tell people all the time in concerts, when I give it to you, what you give back to me is wonderful.
Right.
I'm hoping what you get is wonderful, but what you give back to me is wonderful.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, I do. I love to sing.
That's awesome. So I want to talk to you about how I didn't meet you, but I saw you performing. So, Joyce, when I initially heard you perform, you were at a friend of mine, Kenny James, and a season one friend of the show. He was here on season one. We interviewed him. I saw you at one of his events, and he called you up on the stage, and you just strutted up there with no hesitation and just went up there and started blowing. I'm like, listen to that voice.
Well, you know what? I've been accustomed to that because I grew up in the Baptist church, the Mount Calvary Baptist Church in Mesa. And whenever I go back there to visit my home church, the pastor just sends somebody with the microphone and gives it to me. So whether I'm ready or not, I better get ready.
You better
'cause
get
you're
ready.
gonna sing today. So I'm used to that.
Yeah.
I'll find something.
So are you currently singing in your choir at your church? Or?
No, I don't sing in the choir. I did choirs for 40 years in several churches. And I just stopped doing the choir for a Methodist church in December
Oh.
because I have been ill, and so
sorry to hear
I
that.
just haven't been doing it. But I still sing at a church called the Praise and Worship
Oh,
Center,
okay.
and
And that was a question I was going to ask you, because that was one thing your pastor told you, is that you either sing for the Lord or you sing outside the worldly music. So you chose to sing for the Lord. Okay, so are you continuing to sing for the Lord and
Yes.
utilizing that voice that you asked him for?
yes, I am,
That's
by all means.
okay.
And I've written several songs.
Okay, so
That
you're
are-
also a
yes.
songwriter. And can you tell us about the last song you wrote?
Well, I can tell you about the first song
Okay.
I wrote. The first song I wrote, because I never had that energy to go for songwriting.
Uh-huh.
But I went through a divorce after 21 years of marriage.
Oh.
And when I bought my first home after the divorce, and I had 3 children, 2 in college. So I had 2 jobs. I was stressed to the limit. But I remember one night that I couldn't sleep, and I woke up and the Christian station was on. And it reminded me that if you need something or want something, God will provide it.
Right.
So I went to the scriptures, and somehow I turned to Psalms 91. I will dwell in the shelter of the Most High, and I will abide in the shadow of the Almighty. And I will say, Lord, you are my refuge, you are my fortress, you are my God. That's my first song I wrote, Psalms 91. It carried me through.
Yes, yes. I love that. I love
Most
that.
of my songs that I've written are at times, I always carry pen and pencil,
Uh-huh.
paper in my purse, because if the minister says something that strikes me,
Mhm.
I'm getting out some
Right.
paper and start writing. So most of the songs come from something I've heard
Okay,
through
so
ministry.
that's where you get your content
Yeah.
from, through ministry. I love it. I love it. You know what? I use my notes section on my phone. So when I'm out and about or I hear something, I'm always my phone is
Yeah.
probably so bogged down. That's probably why my camera don't half work right. It's so full of stuff. You, what advice would you give to someone, a mature woman who wants to continue to sing or be in this industry? You know what? I'm going to take it back. What advice would you give to a mature woman that loves singing for the Lord, but also loves singing secular music?
Well, I think that would be up to the person. I think it would be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I love them both,
Mm-hmm.
and I love to sing jazz.
Oh,
I do. So if you have that desire, go for it, because uh, what I would do as a woman, I would put my jazz in my gospel music.
okay.
But I think that you could do both. I think that God understands. If you want to sing
And you know
something
what I think,
else.
and I agree with you on that because I think now music has changed, and even gospel music is more upbeat and more
Right,
jazzy
exactly.
now. So you can get some of that sound from the secular without using the words that are used. I think
Exactly.
the problem is with some of the words that's
Yes.
used. It's not so much the instrumentals and the
Mhm.
I'm not a musician, so and I'm not using the right technique, but it's not the sound. It's more of the verbiage that's used in
Right.
the song. So you can sing
Yeah.
a jazzy gospel type
Well,
song.
one of the things that I really want to do, and I hope within the next year, I hope that my health is better, is to sing music that was presented to this country by African Americans. Spirituals,
Uh-huh.
gospel, jazz, blues,
Mm-hmm.
R&B, because nobody sings the spirituals anymore.
Right.
But from spirituals came the gospel music.
Right. That is true.
So I'd like to share samples of all of the music that we as a people have presented to America.
That would be wonderful. And you know what? We pray that your health is better. And you know what? You sound like you have that mindset that is going to be better. And we hope that you are able to sample that and get that out there for us to listen to.
God is willing.
Yes, God is willing. So, where can our audience find you? Are you on social media, or do you have
I am on social media. I'm not the greatest, but my son helps me. My 3 sons.
Okay.
And
So you have 3 sons?
I have 3.
Okay, I spoke with one of them.
That's my eldest.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
but I have 2 more, and
you know he's very proud of you.
they're all good sons.
Yes, but he's very proud. You can tell he's very proud of his mother.
Well, he's been my caregiver since he moved back to Arizona.
Okay.
He has traveled all over the world.
Okay.
All over the world. And one of the things that is most memorable to me is he was in Nice. He was in Monte Carlo,
Okay.
France.
Okay.
He was dancing there. He was a dancer.
He's a dancer.
And he sent me a ticket. So I had to use that ticket.
Yes, you did.
But I was afraid to fly over the over the waters. But I did. I went to I landed in Nice and went to Monte Carlo, and I met the prince there.
Okay.
But I met Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Okay.
My goodness.
You see how feisty she got when she said that?
Handsome, handsome, handsome. And it was a nice trip. It really was.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, it was such a pleasure to have you here with us today, and we look forward to hearing more from Joyce the Voice Bailey, and I'm sure we're going to.
Amen.
Yes, thank you. And we will be right back after this commercial break. And thank you for joining us here today on Desertwood Days. And you have a beautiful 4th of July. Desertwood Days.